Lifers and loved ones, welcome back to the channel as always. You know what time it is. Plans being laid, no games being played, money being made and bills being paid as always, and I am Biz. And you are standing in my bathroom. I never thought I would come to a place where I was doing this, but you're in my bathroom, so be kind. Be respectful, alright? So yes, I just came here to love on y'all, chop it up with y'all, something a little different. Again, I want y'all to get to know more about me, more behind the scenes, connect more with my personality, and just give you more of the insight into my day-to-day life. Plus, I love to chop it up, so we're gonna chop it up, multitask. Know what I'm talking about? And it is that time again. It's time for me to get a retwist soon. In the next couple days, I'll be at the shop, so I tend to clean myself up if I'm not at the shop, at the barber shop or something like that, which I haven't gone in a while. It's cost effective. I can do it on my own time, and I'm comfortable. I've been doing this for a long time, so I'll go ahead and line myself up. As you can see, I'm looking a little rough back here, but we're gonna get that together. Something simple, nothing crazy, straight to the point. So yeah, I'm gonna clean myself up and talk to y'all in the process. Bet. I'll go ahead and show y'all what I use for the cuts. So here are the tools for the trade. All right, I got my trusty mirror over there. You gotta have that, feel me, so you can see from behind you. And I use my side mirror on my medicine cabinet. I got the 𝙤𝙚 Slimline Pro Li, so I use that for any trimming and edging that I do, clean myself up. Also got the wall. These are the magic clips, the cordless joints. I got a utility toothbrush, which just typically me cycling through my toothbrushes every 3 months or so. I'll keep one on hand, and that's actually the electric kind, so it comes in handy, but I'll use that to brush off my clippers. It's definitely sanitary, and you see I got the rubber band around it, so I don't mistake that for my toothbrush, because that would be a problem, okay? That'd be an issue. Got a guard over there, and I also got my comb, and then you see the secret sauce back there in the green bottle, as well as just some cotton balls to wipe myself off when I'm done, and I'll also sanitize my clippers and whatnot. So yeah, I'll get started in just a second. I'll be right back with y'all. Alright, and we are back. So I'm just getting the camera situated so that you can see me in the mirror as I record, and we'll go from there. So here we go. So initially what I like to start off by doing when I'm doing this is I'll just go ahead and make sure that I use the brush to lay everything down initially that I'm going to cut. The focus is mainly on the back because I obviously am a woman, like to keep everything natural, you dig, but I will trim it up in the front from time to time just to make sure that it's just a cleaner look, which I prefer. But I'm definitely not doing any lining or tapering. We say that, you know, for the fellas. And, you know, those of us who may want a cleaner look, but I like to keep it very natural up here. So I'm just brushing first to lay everything down and to see the direction that everything is going in. And then I'll also, you know what I mean, turn around and use my mirror so I can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. Again, just making sure that everything is laid down and I have a nice clean part. And I can see exactly where it is that I'm going to be doing my cutting at. I use my side mirror over here, my medicine cabinet, and I also have this little mirror. So, and I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm used to it. I know the direction that my hair grows in, and I'm getting to the point where I'm getting quicker and quicker about it. Like, so yeah, definitely comfortable to do it. So after I use my brush, I like to come through with my comb because brushes tend to clump hair together, but you want to come back with a comb to actually separate the hair and lay it down. Plus, again, just making sure that I have my actual like lock separated from the hair that I'm about to taper off. I like it, again, to have a nice like natural look, nothing too crazy, and I definitely don't want to make the mistake of cutting into my lock at all. So that's the part of why I like to use the comb too, so I know exactly what it is that I'm bringing down, and then I'll use the comb to bring up any hair to make sure that I'm not cutting too much. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. But again, I also came to just chop it up with y'all and have a word with y'all, you dig? What I want to talk about today while I'm on this camera is monitoring spirits. Which I think is of the utmost importance. Is something that we should all be aware of spiritually as we moving throughout the world, looking to elevate, looking to, you know, make boss moves and do better for ourselves, do better for our families, do better in our personal lives, professional lives, financially, you know, whatever the case may be. Your mental health, fitness, monitoring spirits. So what I mean by monitoring spirits, that's like spiritually, that's spirits who just basically come to be in your business. Like they come to see what you got going on. They come to know, you know, like what you doing, what your plans are, which is why I emphasize, and I'm gonna always emphasize, like, keep your plans between you and God. It's better to just do it and let the world see it. But you don't want to invite negative energies in or dark forces into your plans before they've had an opportunity to manifest. So things, when you pray about them or when you visualize them or when you have a plan or a dream or ambition for something, in my experience, and what I know to be true for me, is they happen in the spiritual realm first. All right. So I always look to keep God at the center of everything that I do, even if it seems like it's something that is positive, negative, whatever. And then I am learning to kind of sit back and be still and let him move, because his timing is always better. His guidance is always better. And I always want to be making moves that are in God's will for me. You know what I mean? I always want to be in God's will. So I'll pray about things and then I'll just fall back, right? So our plans and our goals and our ambitions and our next levels and dreams and, you know, promotions and stuff like that, appointments, God has to fight the negative forces, right? It's like it almost has to like kind of marinate, if you will, in the spiritual realm, remove all the dark forces, make sure that it's a right fit for you, make sure that's not going to cause you harm, make sure there's no negativity associated with it, make sure that spiritually that you're ready. So once it manifests and like in the spiritual realm, then it comes down to the physical and we have the opportunity to experience those things. So that's how I choose to look at that. That's been my experience. So when I say monitoring spirits, I mean literally spirits that are looking to come through and prevent, you know, the things that you want or that you've been praying for or that you've been working toward from coming to fruition. Be careful who you share your business with. It's key. And it's like the more you grow, the more you elevate, the bigger your plans are. Like you don't want any negative forces to like derail it or deter it or to slow down that process. You want it to flow and you want it to be on God's time. And what's for you is for you. Make no mistake. If it's for you, it's for you. It's gonna come. But I feel like you can block blessings or you could greatly like slow down the process when you speak too much about things before they've had an opportunity to manifest themselves in the physical. So be very careful of that. Even if it's like super close loved ones, keep stuff to yourself. Keep it between you and God first. And when it's time for the world to know, they're gonna know. You feel me? So that's how I like to handle that. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna begin the cutting. Got everything I need. What I like to do is I'm gonna start off with the Slimline Pro first. All right, it's just easier for me to see it with my eyes. And again, this is a home cut. You feel me? It's gonna be quality and it's gonna look nice. And when I get the retwist, it's gonna complement it very well. But this is just for me to be clean, to be neat. You know what I mean? And my day-to-day life, professionally, like I like to present myself a certain way. I like for my things to look nice and neat. I like to be put together. Sanitary, hygiene, on par, looking good, smelling good, feeling good. Locks can have a connotation to them, right? As you could imagine, you feel me? So I always like to try to put my best foot forward with that. And so this is just my way of cleaning myself up. So I find it easier to go ahead and tap myself up, clean my lines up first, clean my neck up with this first, because the hair is darker. Once I bring it down, the hair is very light. These are very close to zero gaps, but I use them at an angle and with the pressure that my skin can handle as not to cut myself or nick myself. But these are very, very sharp. So you always want to be mindful of that when you're cutting. But like I said, I'm just cleaning myself up, making it nice and neat. This ain't a bunch of crazy, you know, gradients and fadings and all that. It's just me cleaning myself a little bit. Cleaning myself up a little bit, all right? So here we go. So now that I got everything combed down, I know the direction of the sand, I know exactly where I'm gonna be cutting, and this is just gonna be me cleaning up my sides over here and getting any excess hair off my neck. Usually I don't have a shirt or anything on when I'm doing this, but obviously for the camera, we got to do that. Ain't trying to get flat, I'm talking about. So yeah, here we go. So hope you all can see me as I'm in the mirror. But what I do is I just come into the mirror and I'm gonna twist the camera a little bit to make sure you all can see me as I'm doing this. All right, so here we go. Now, again, not applying too much pressure. And I'm just cleaning off any excess hair. Use my pinky to move my ear out of the way. I'm coming up. All right, nice and neat, nothing too crazy. Like I said, not applying too much pressure. Do not want to nickel cut myself. It's a horrible thing, and my skin is super duper sensitive, so it's like I nickel cut myself, I'm gonna feel it. We ain't doing too much. Blow the air out of the way. And take your time. Be patient. You know what I mean? And it'll come together. And I'm basically just following my natural pattern of the way my hair grows. I'm not pushing it in too far because that makes it look super rough when it starts to grow back. Like if you come in way too far, like you push it in too far, as it's going back, it's just gonna make it look rough. So I just follow my natural line and look to just make it look nice and neat. Nothing too crazy. And like I said, I've been doing this for a while. So I'm very comfortable with the clippers and how they cut and what angles I need to hold them at, and just, I'm not worried about making a mistake. If I do, it ain't a big deal. But like I said, just taking my time, being patient, following my natural lines, using the pinky finger to move that hair out the way. And to go up. Got my trusty mirror, and I'm using the side mirror from my medicine cabinet when I need to. And the big mirror when I need to. And then come in. And it's crazy because it's like my neck is already starting to turn red with just that little bit of pressure. So, again, that's just a cheat code for me. I like to do the sides first. This is easier for me. I can see better what I'm doing. And then when I bring it down, it's like, it's always perfect. So as you can see, this is just a quick line without me even taking anything down. This is just showing you what I did just to clean off the excess hair from the sides. And as you can see, I'm trying to move around and make sure that I'm getting on the camera. It just makes it look neat already. Sometimes in between retwists, or I got something to do, I want to wear my hair up. It's something more formal where I'm dressing up or something, I want to put my hair up. I'll clean myself up like this without even necessarily bringing anything down, just because I like the way it makes it look neater. So it looks better already, as you can see. So that's dope. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and start bringing it down. So I'll go ahead and use my toothbrush right here. And I'm just, you know, brushing off my clipper. And I hit things with alcohol, and I make sure that I oil things up before I put them away. So yeah, so now we're coming through with my magic clips, all right? So I use my lever because, again, this allows you to fade and get to different lengths as you want. Not going super duper low. I'm gonna go ahead and actually slap the guard on it and open it all the way up and start there. So this is the 1/16, so 1.5 guard, and I got my lever all the way open for that length, and I'm just gonna take down the bulk first, and then I'll go from there. And while I'm taking down this bulk, we're gonna get back to these monitoring spirits we were talking about. So it's good if you have, you know what I mean, a trusted confidant, right? You got a trusted confidant, family member, you know, homie, your significant other, you know, that's cool. You trust them, you know, it's okay to seek counsel. I ain't telling you that you shouldn't ever seek counsel from others, but I just, in my experience, it's been best for me to keep my plans between me and God for the most part. You know, I definitely got people in my life who I love and trust, and who I know want the best for me, and I can trust, you know, with my moves, and I want to get their input to make sure that I'm on point. But always be careful, you know, don't rush to speak on things. Like, get comfortable with the notion of keeping things to yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Keeping it between you and God. And I feel like that's a way of building your relationship with God, and He likes that. You know what I mean? He likes it when things can stay just between y'all, because eventually the world's gonna know. You know what I mean? If it's a goal or something you've been working on, eventually the world's gonna know, you know, when it comes to fruition. Plus, it takes the pressure off of things when you keep them to yourself, because you don't feel like the outside forces, or you're not getting hit up, or no one's asking you questions about what you're doing. You're not feeling pressured to do this or that. And sometimes things can take longer than you anticipate, and you might feel the pressure if you spoke on it prematurely. So keep that in mind too. But monitoring spirits, like, it's real. You know, don't necessarily take my word for it, man. I'm just sharing knowledge with you, sharing life experience with you. You can research it, look into it. It may be something that you heard of. You may heard of it referred to as something else. How about keeping people out your business? I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is. It's just how I am. I wouldn't say I'm particularly secretive per se, but I don't like people in my business unnecessarily. That's just who I am. I've always been like that. It could be things that seem like they little, but I don't like people in my business. That's just how I am. And one of my favorite things to do is to mind my own business. Like, and even if people are like, because people tend to like want to talk to me about things and confide in me and get my perspective because they know that I'm a private person and I tend to keep things close to the vest. Like, people trust me to confide in me, which I do respect and appreciate, and I respect their boundaries, and I never cross any lines. You feel me? But just because you confide in me about your stuff, that don't necessarily mean I don't talk mine. I'm the type of person, you know, if I do speak on something, I'll tell one or two people. That way, if it gets out, I know who said it. I know who to go check. Or not even so much check, but I know who never to discuss my business with again. But I don't ever really have those problems. Like I said, I keep things to myself. That's just how I am. And then when they come, they come. You know what I mean? I'm getting a new spot. You will know it when you come through. If you come through. I'm getting a new car. You will know it when you see me pull up. I'm getting my money. You will see it. You're going to see it on me. You'll know when it's time for you to know. But that's just how I move. When you invite people into your business too soon, like it bad things can happen. Like, it can get catastrophic. Like, and again, it could just be a blessing blocker. So yeah, so all I'm doing now is just checking on things. You know, you want to, as you cut, you definitely want to make sure that you're brushing or combing as you cut, and like get comfortable, like, you know what I mean, cutting from different angles. I know the way that my hair grows, and my hair grows differently on one side of my head than it does on the other side. So I like to come in from different angles just to make sure that I'm taking down the hair and, you know, just taking my time. But like I said, I've gotten to the point where I'm very, very comfortable to do this, so I can go pretty quick when I'm not on camera. And I'm about to get in the shower, which obviously I'll be doing right after this. But when I get in the shower, it's like bing, bang, bang. So yeah, we're just taking down the bulk. And I'm definitely going to go a little lower than this. We're going to go lower. So what I'm going to do now is, I can do this a few different ways. But what I'm going to do to make my life easier, I'm in Vegas, it's super hot, and my hair grows very fast. So I'm not worried about it being kind of low. I'm going to go ahead and take the guard off now that I've removed the bulk. Go ahead and brush my guard off. Get that excess hair off of there. Brush my clipper off. And now with the guard off, but the lever completely open, I'm going to see if there's any additional bulk that I can take off. Again, taking my time as not to cut too much. You know what I mean? You can measure multiple times, but cut once. Once you cut too much, it's over. So now we going in, lever all the way open with the guard off. And then I'm going to take off any bulk I want to take off with the grain. And I'm going with the grain, and this is actually going to be the perfect length. I can see now this is exactly how I'm going to want it. So I'm just coming in, guard off, lever completely open, and taking off all of the bulk. And I'm doing it carefully, and I'm coming a little close to where my parts are for my locks, but not getting so close that I'm cutting off too much. But yeah, I can see that this is going to be the perfect length. This is exactly how I want it for this cut. It's dark enough where you can see that there's hair there, but it ain't bald. You know what I mean? And this is why I like to edge up first, because the hair is very light when you're looking in the mirror and having to depend on the mirror, you know, to get yourself right. So again, as I come closer to the top where my locks are, I'm taking my time. You know, make sure I ain't do what y'all think, okay? So yeah, be mindful of monitoring spirits, man. Be celebratory. It's a beautiful thing when you accomplish a goal, when you win, when you actually like complete. This very few better feelings, if any, in the world of like setting out a goal for yourself and then walking it out, actually having an opportunity to accomplish it. But you don't want to mess up a blessing by speaking on it too soon and speaking on it to the wrong person. You know, unfortunately, people don't always want the best for us. Just because people laugh or smile in your face or kiki with you or chop it up with you does not mean that, you know, they want to see you win. And I ain't saying that that's always the case. Like, I ain't definitely not a negative individual or of a negative mindset. That's just my experience. That's just a fact. And sometimes people are scared of success. Not only scared of their own, but they're scared of other people's success, which I'm going to talk about that in the video too soon as well. The fears of success. I'm going to discuss that. All right. But sometimes people are afraid of like how it might change you if you start to level up, or there might be separation, or it might create distance. Sometimes people are afraid that you might forget about them if you make a move. So keep that in mind. It ain't always about them just being a hater for the sake of being a hater. Sometimes there's other traumas or other things going on that might influence that, but that still doesn't mean that that's not sending negative energy towards whatever your ambition was. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Keep that in mind. So yeah, so we're pretty much where we want to be as far as this goes. In the back, liking how it looks. It's low, but that's what I wanted. And like I said, this gonna go back fast. Like my hair goes back very fast. Just making sure that I ain't moving the lever with my hand, and I still have it at the same length, so it'll be even all the way around. And just taking my time as I get closer to the top. And we gonna stay with the grain on this, because I'm liking the way that it looks. And again, it's just a quick little at-home cut, y'all. If I want the barbershop experience, or, you know, I can go get that, but I'd be cool. But so, like I said, it ain't nothing like being in the comfort of your own home and do something. It saves you money to cut your own hair. It's convenient. It's convenient. What happens if, you know what I mean, you decide that you need to step out? Or what happens if you have a meeting that you need to attend unexpectedly, or you get an opportunity and you want to show up looking your best and there ain't no time to go to the barbershop? You looking a little rough, you want to clean it up, you know, you want to put your hair up, you want a different look, you want to, you know what I mean, and you like stuck and pressed because you can't go to the barbershop. Like, so yeah, I think it's good, depending on your style, how you wear your hair, that you are in a position and you're ready to like clean yourself up. I got a little patchy patch back there that I'm going to bring the lever down just a little bit, just to hit. I'm looking for dark spots in the mirror right now. And then sometimes, like if you're looking for the same thing too long, your eyes get tired. So I like to look away at something else and then come back. So that's what I'm doing right now as I'm brushing. But I see a couple dark spots that I can hit. And again, it's not a perfect system, because it's like, even though the lever is completely open and I've cut everything to the exact same length, because your hair grows in different directions, and some grows upward, some grows crossways, and like you'll have dark spots in your hair where it looks like it's longer than everywhere else, and that's not out of the ordinary. So all I do is little by little, like I'll bring in the lever on my clipper just a tad, just a tad bit, and I'm gonna hit that dark spot, and I'm going to hit it with the grain like I cut everything else, because if you go against the grain, it's going to cut too much hair off. And I'm looking in my mirror as I cut it. 1 or 2 quick little strokes, and it's already going away. A couple more strokes, it's already going away. And what I also do is I'll kind of go in a circular motion. By doing this, you can clear out dark spots and create a little bit of a gradiency without leaving hard lines. Without even leaving any hard lines. So like it almost creates like a little bit of a fade effect. It may seem a little out of the ordinary, but as long as your clippers aren't too sharp and your skin doesn't get irritated, for me it works. Again, I've been doing this for years. Like I've been cutting my own hair. Dark spot is gone, and I'm doing my little squirrel motion, and I'm kind of coming up close to the edge over here. And it's like it's getting rid of the dark spots, but it's not leaving any hard lines. Like, and that's what you want. Like you want it to look nice and neat. So come over here, come close to the edge, and do the circles. It's beautiful. Beautiful. to brush it down. And I'm gonna turn around to the camera so y'all can see the progress. But yeah, quick, simple, home little cut. Nothing too crazy. And again, I ain't looking for perfection. You gotta keep in mind, this is just so like my neck ain't super hot and the hair ain't sticking out crazy on the sides how it was when I go to the shop and get my retwist. It's gonna look good, it's gonna look clean, and it looks good too, like even like the next day or two as the hair kind of is trained down and it's starting to grow back, and after I've washed it and got through it, like it's gonna look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn around to the camera so you'll see. I'm gonna move around a little bit so you can really see where I'm at with it. But yeah, so this is pretty much like the finished product. After I finish the back, I'm gonna bring the clipper all the way down, and you can't pick it up on the camera, but I got a lot of hair that's kind of like sticking up on my neck back here. So I'll clean that up a little bit, but this is like the finished product. This is the after, so you can see, and this is what it looks like after I do my little lineup at home before the retwist. So yeah, and then I'm gonna show y'all how I clean up the front a little bit too in just a second. So I'll go ahead and finish up the back. So now I'm gonna take my clipper all the way closed. It's all the way closed. So this is the shortest that this clipper can cut when you take the lever all the way closed. All right, and this is just me doing this little cleanup work. This is just me getting behind my ear, make sure I ain't leaving nothing. This is me like cleaning up my neck. And because I have the clipper like close to my skin, it's not irritating me at all, but it's getting any excess hair like from off my neck and all that good stuff. So we're gonna take all that off. I just cut off, drop that down in the sink, and hopefully not so much of the floor. Okay, I'm just getting rid of all this hair. Making sure that I'm nice and smooth. Be mindful, clippers do get a little bit hot too, so you're gonna be aware of that until you're used to it. But it's nothing that's irritating me or bothering me. And because I'm a little fair, like, you know, my neck turns red, my hair red. But trust me when I say it's not irritated, scratching, burning. Like you can tell when you nick yourself. Like if you've been cutting your own hair for a minute, you can tell when you accidentally nick yourself up. But there's no neck scratches, nothing. So it's all good. I'm gonna take my hand and lean over the sink a little bit and try to brush this extra hair off of me. And it feels so good. It feels so good. So yeah. Double check, make sure I don't got no bunch of dark marks, nothing like that crazy going on. I'm gonna show y'all one more time what we looking like. And this is it right here, baby. So nice little home cut. And like I said, once I get my retwist done, and this is all super fresh, it's gonna look beautiful. Save myself a couple bucks, convenience, and I can stand in the camera and just, you know, chop it up with y'all. So there we go, very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and do the front, which will only take a couple minutes. This is just me brushing up the sides. So once I brush them up, and I ain't even gonna mess with this up here. I like it with a little length to it. You know, I can do little swirls, like I kind of, you know, can brush it and comb it the way I want when I'm actually styling my hair to leave the house. So I initially brush up, then I'm gonna take my comb, and then I'll comb the hair down to see what I actually want to cut off. Because like I said, my natural line up here, I ain't even really finna touch that. But I will comb down the excess down here that I'm getting ready to cut off. Simple. So all this down here will go. And yeah. So all that'll come off. And then I'll even cut a little bit back here, but not too much. Because again, I like it to look natural. I ain't going for a fade. I ain't going for a lineup. All right. So here we go. All the way open with my guard on first to see exactly how much I'm cutting. I'm gonna be careful with this. So all the way open. So I just come up here where I comb down and get all that out of the way. And you wanna pull the skin, kind of to make it taut. Like pull the skin as you do this. And then you can see exactly what you're taking off. You know, I don't like to take too much. I don't like to do too much. And my hair grows differently my hair grows differently on this side than it does over here. So I tend to cut this in a different way, but it comes out looking even in the end. So yeah, getting rid of all that extra that we don't need. And now that I've come down in a way that I'm comfortable with it, we're gonna come back here a little bit behind my ear and move all this out the way. And again, keep in mind, I ain't got the retwist yet. So once I get the retwist, all this will be pulled up into my hair, and it'll be me. This is just me getting off any excess that's in the way. So now that we did all that, now I'm gonna go ahead and brush it back up into my hair so I can see that is how I want it. And I'm happy with the end result of this right here, as far as the length and any bulk. So I took down the bulk and got all that out of the way. So now I'm gonna come in with my slimline, and let's go ahead and brush off my clipper. And I can take the guard off of this, brush it off. Y'all, keep things nice and neat and orderly. All right, let's be orderly about this thing, shall we? All right, so now that we got that, I come in with my slimline, and now this is just me giving myself the shape I want. I got like the length and thickness that I want as far as the size of my hair. Now this is just me cleaning up and shaping it how I want it to be, and making sure I ain't leaving no hard lines behind or nothing crazy. Go ahead and tuck this piece of hair in because it's in the way. And just getting behind my ear, and this clipper is sharp, so I'm just making sure I'm not cutting myself. You know, I'm pulling my hair out of the way, getting the skin out of the way. And brush as you go. And use the corners. Use the corners of your clipper. Like when I'm doing detail work like this, I'm not using the whole blade. I'm using a couple teeth on the end, so that way I can control how much I'm cutting, you know, little by little with patience. And so that way you don't cut too much. Then you gotta spend a couple days waiting for your hair to grow back. So it's like I use the corners. So use the corners of your clipper, and like, you know what I mean, to do your detail work. And that way, like I said, you can make sure you're not cutting too much hair off. So that's what I'm doing. So perfect. That's exactly the look I want. Again, do the same thing. Come over here, shape it, get any excess hair out of the way. If you got sideburns, grow, and you're trying to get rid of all that, do that. Pull the skin tight. Get as close to your skin so you get a nice clean cut. Pull the skin. And like I said, little fine hair that grow on your face and all that, you cut all that too. Again, I'm using my corners. Using my corners to cut any excess hair. Not using a full blade, I'm just using my corners and brushing as I go. And like I said, it just makes all the difference, just makes it nicer and neater when you can come in, clean it up a little bit. You know what I mean? It ain't about perfection, it's just about, you know, making it look a little neater. That's all you're doing. As a woman, I still, you know, like it to be dark. I'm not trying to do too much. I found in cutting hair, it's like a lot of things in life, you want to be disciplined, because you'll hear the motor going and it's like you'll want to keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, but you want to be careful that you're not just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, and then you mess around and cut too much off and then you be pissed. So just be careful. And it's at the same time I'm looking at the other side, but I know that my hair grows differently over here than it does over here, so that's okay. I'm not trying to make it match perfectly. I'm just trying to make it look nice and neat and look good, you feel me? It ain't about perfection. And that's pretty much it. This is the look right here. So this is what it is. I cleaned up all the excess that's over here. Again, all this hair that you can see here and whatnot. I'm trying to lean into the camera. Oh, I ain't worried about that. I ain't got the retwist yet, feel me? So all that's gonna come together and be nice and neat. I just wanna make sure that it looks good behind my ears and that my neck is nice and neat. So that's really what it comes down to. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up the cut, you know what I mean? So this is the finished product. So I'll turn around to the front of the camera so you can see. So I pretty much just brought the sides down, made sure that behind my ears it was nice and neat and clean. There ain't no bunch of crazy straight hairs. Left it very natural up here. And again, in the next coming days, as it kind of starts to grow back, it'll almost be perfect and it's nice and neat, exactly how I want it. Then boom, I get my retwist done and it'll be player. Like, it'll be exactly how I want it, looking good and feeling good, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, that was y'all, you know what I mean, watching me do my little home cut, how I clean myself up. And again, just want to share, when it comes to monitoring spirits, elevation, promotion, making moves, just be careful. Use your discernment, use your wisdom. Be sure to pray and learn when to be still. There's a time to take action and there's a time to be still. There's a time to speak and there's a time to be quiet. Give yourself the space and grace and patience that you need to accomplish your goals. Continue to work toward them, and then just let your actions speak. Let the outcome speak. It comes out better. Plus, there's a little bit of a shock value that comes with that when people didn't know that you were planning something, that you were making a move, and then it's like bang. You know what I mean? They get to see it live and in living color. All right. So that was my word as far as monitoring spirits. You already know what time it is. You want to drop me a line, anything in relation to the video, you got feedback, you just want to say what's up, askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. That is askbizlifestyle@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram. That is 𝙖𝙫𝙚, 𝙖𝙫𝙚. That is 𝙖𝙬1212 on Instagram, and it'll be up here on the screen as well. Drop it down in the comment section. You got any questions or you just want to show love? Check the About page on YouTube as well. You can find the links to my socials, other ways that you can reach me. You want to show love to the channel, you can also do that. Cash App is there, all that good stuff. Much appreciation to y'all. Yeah, we're gonna keep this one raw. It's just me talking, and I'm in my bathroom, so I can do and be and sound and say what I want. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you for spending time with me. As always, I believe in y'all, so y'all definitely be sure to do the same thing. I'm Biz, and we out, baby.